Ahead and get started. Thank you guys for jumping on with me tonight. It's Woke Wednesday. And so as you see from the title tonight, Silent Night, I kind of want to talk about just how important silence can be. Oftentimes we go through life with just constant activity, constant noise. You know, we're moving from one thing to the next to the next. We might have music playing. We might be listening to an audiobook. We have someone talking to us. We're on the phone, whatever the case may be. We're running through our life with just constant noise. And sometimes it's so important to just have silence, to take a step back. And so I just want to talk about this a little bit tonight because I think it's a really important part of self-care that we tend to forget. So, you know, we might need to take a step back from things, whether they're projects that we're working on, you know, that could be around the house, that could be at work. We might need to take a step back from business that we're working on. We might need to take a step back from relationships, from responsibilities that we have. And you guys know I've told you when I have these talks, a lot of it is because these are things that are important, that I need to get better at, I guess you could say. So, you know, leaving responsibilities like, oh my gosh, the kitchen isn't clean and going to sleep. That is a chore for someone who's OCD like me. So I understand that sometimes it's easier said than done, but sometimes we need to force ourselves to take a step back. When we take a step back, it's a really great chance to do a couple of things. So to assess and evaluate where things are. What's going well? What's not going well? What can I myself improve upon? It's a great chance to reconnect, whether we're reconnecting with ourselves, which I think is the number one most important. So often we get caught up in doing things, especially for others, that we forget to connect with ourselves. It's a great chance to reconnect with our purpose, with our passion. Again, we go through life on that, oftentimes, again, on that conveyor belt. And, you know, it's like we're not connected to a passion. We're not connected. We're just out there surviving, right? We're not necessarily living. So it's a great chance to reconnect with our passion, with our purpose. It might be a great chance to reconnect with other relationships as well when we take a step back from things. It's also a really great chance to observe. What's going on? Do I like this? Do I want to be a part of this? Is there something that I could do differently? All of those types of things. So taking a step back can be so important to reassessing. You know, you look at businesses, and sometimes businesses need to reassess what they're doing and change route. You know, for example, when we see things like, you know, obviously we're seeing right now with things like retail, you know, so many malls and retail places are closing down because Amazon has taken over. Well, you see some other companies are stepping up and making some decisions. Hey, we need to make more stuff available online. We need to do these different things so that we can remain competitive. And that's important because if you never take a step back, if you never assess what's going on, you don't have a chance to improve. Right? So taking a step back is so important. And like I said, I think a really big part of taking a step back is clearing all that noise out, clearing all of that activity out. You know, I know so many of us live in this cycle of busyness, if you will. And here's the thing is busyness is not a badge of honor. Busyness can actually be a negative. So they've done studies about how busyness is actually a trauma response in people with PTSD. So people with PTSD, or maybe people who, you know, are going through something, keeping busy keeps them from having to address, acknowledge, feel those things that are going on. Well, guess what? If you don't take the time to take a step back and acknowledge what's going on, address what's going on, feel what's going on, you cannot heal from those things. Right? If you just keep stuffing it and you just keep being busy, I'm going from this to the next, I've always got noise in my head and I'm not acknowledging what's going on in me, I cannot heal. And so, busyness is actually a trauma response, meaning it's a great way to numb yourself to what's going on. It's also a fear response. So a lot of people, when they are being busy all the time because of, they're trying to stay away from these things, that's a fear response. I don't want to have to deal with this emotion. I don't want to have to deal with maybe it's something like something impending that I know has to get done and I don't want to do it. And that's a fear response, right? And so we need to take a step back. When we are silent, when we just allow ourselves some silent time, and I get it. I have had to really force myself over the last week or so to practice this, because normally even when I go to sleep, I have a sleep meditation going on that's doing different things, affirmations, or, whatever the case may be, Bible verses, different things like that. And so I have had to really force myself to not turn those on. In the mornings when I'm getting ready, a lot of times I'll listen to an audiobook. In the last few days, I have forced myself to not do that, because it's a really great chance for me to connect with what's really going on. What am I really feeling? What's really going through my head? Let me have a complete thought, as opposed to I start to have a thought and then, I'm listening to something or somebody comes to talk to me and I'm not able to finish that. And so silence is just such an amazing way for us to take care of ourselves. And, it's so important. And right now, I know as we're going into the holidays in the next 2 days, we focus so much on other people, on making, and a lot of us just do this in life in general, not necessarily just with the holidays, but we're so focused on other people and making sure other people are, doing, having the best experience for them and those types of things, that we don't take care of ourselves. And finding that time to be silent, to assess, to observe, to evaluate, finding that time to just sit in those emotions that we have going on. Because again, and oftentimes emotions, feelings are what actually cause us to take action. If I'm super uncomfortable with something, that discomfort, if I allow myself to sit in it, will cause me to take action and decide maybe I need to change this situation. If I don't ever allow myself to sit in that emotion of discomfort, I keep finding ways to be busy so that I don't have to experience that discomfort, I'm just going to stay in that same situation, right? Whether that's a job that you're not happy in, whether that's a relationship that you're not happy in, whatever the case may be, And so it's so important to just take a step back, find that time to be silent, find that time to connect with yourself, find that time to meditate. And those things can help you, to both, number one, feel less stress, as well as take action if action needs to be taken. So that's all I really wanted to talk to you guys about today. Super quick one, I know, but how is everybody doing? Whoever's on, if you want to, feel free to comment. But otherwise, I just hope everyone has a very Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, Happy, Hanukkah, whatever you might be celebrating. I hope you have an amazing time. We've been through a really tough year, right? And a lot of us even are trying to keep busy through that, so we don't have to acknowledge that. But hopefully over this past year, you've had some time to change some things, to reflect on some things, to be grateful, show your gratitude for things that maybe you took for granted in the past. So that's all I wanted to say. Merry Christmas to you all. I hope you have a wonderful holiday coming up this week, and I'll see you guys next week. Bye.